My name is George Sedlak. I live in Dearborn, Michigan.
Okay. And have you been coming to the fair a lot over the years? Or?
We've come about 4 or 5 times, I think.
Okay. Well, what do you think about the prospect of it closing down and Fairgrounds being sold?
I think that's a shame. I think this is a valuable resource. It's like so many things in the city of Detroit that have just fallen on bad times and let to go to ruin, and nobody seems to care. They've got, there's too much other things going on in the city that are diverting the attention from things that really matter and really can enrich our children and our community.
Hi, I'm his wife Cindy. Just wanted to let you know that we're originally from Cleveland, Ohio. And I brought my dad up here a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
He was amazed. I've been to the Ohio State Fair. It doesn't have as much diversity as this fair does. It really shows all around agricultural. It has rabbits and pigeons and chickens more than I've ever seen at any of the fairs I've been at. That's all I want to say.
Okay. Well, you said it pretty well.
I'm Donna, and I live in Detroit.
Okay. And have you come to the fair a lot of times, or?
I come every year.
Come every year. And what do you think about the proposition of closing the fair and selling off the property for other uses?
I think it's terrible. I think we need something like this to bring people together. It's a family affair. I think it would be horrible to do away with something like that. It also brings different communities together. Also, there's not just people from Detroit here, even though it's in Detroit. There's a lot of different people from different communities, and they come together. And it also gives the young people a chance to see things that they wouldn't ordinarily see in the inner city. I think it's a wonderful place to be.
My name is Nancy Geddert. I'm a member of iCare, which is an organization that has been concerned about the fairgrounds for quite a few years now. And I can understand where the state is so strapped for cash right now that they may not be able to run the fair for a few years. And I'm more concerned about the fairgrounds themselves, itself. It is public land. I would not want to see it sold to a private enterprise for development. We need the public land that we have. There's a proposal from iCare to make this into an agricultural school. It would be a wonderful use for this ground. There are other public uses that would be great, like having a Metro Park here, but whatever comes of the fairgrounds, it should be kept as public property and not sold to private enterprise.
Okay. So is the ice cream good?
The ice cream is wonderful.
My name is Lauren, and I'm a resident of Detroit.
Okay.
And I'm very disappointed to hear that this may be the last year of the state fair. We hope that they decide to bring it back and they can keep the tradition going on, because even as an adult, from days when I was younger, I remember, and we still get out, we ride the rides, and we have fun, and it brings out the kid in all of us. So hopefully we'll see it back.
Hi, I'm Ryan Rowinski. I've lived in Mount Clemens, Michigan, but I grew up running around Detroit my whole life. Educated at Michigan State University.
Okay.
Agriculture, College of Agriculture, crop and soil science, and vast amount of experience since then in all fields agriculturally related. The same amount of money that the state has put into this fair every year, they will continue to have to put into this property to maintain it as a closed property. The number's around $400,000. The real reason the state wants to close the fair is because of their neglect of maintenance and mismanagement over the years has led to the decline in the structures on the property that was donated to them by the Hudson family for a fair. So because of their neglect, they've run up a tab of upwards of $3+ million in repairs that need to be brought up to code on this site. So therein lies the real problem. The problem is not that the state will be budget constrained by continuing to support the fair. They will save $0 closing the fair versus keeping it open. That's a giant misnomer that the Granholm administration has perpetuated, and I think our campaign that we should rally behind should be more, and I would wish that the state would clearly address the issue and maybe support a repair the fair type of drive. I'm here promoting urban farming as an innovative technique of farming for a sustainable future. It used to be that agriculture is on the outskirts of the city because the city was fully populated with people. Well, that's not the case. As the people move out, we have empty land within the city where we could produce our own food in the city. Well, if you look around you, what we've done is we've displayed innovative ways to maximize food production on smaller plots of land. Therefore, hopefully creating an agricultural economy locally in the city so that people in the city can work to produce their own food. You know, amongst carnival rides and milking cows and crops growing, children learn. They become more connected to where their food actually comes from. And these are the techniques that will feed us in the future. I feel that if the governor decides to continue to close the fair, that she's also closing a primary training ground for the green jobs that she so claims to advocate. It doesn't get any greener than putting your hands in the dirt. And every day our children get further and further away from where their food actually comes from. So it seems pretty hypocritical for the same governor to say, we support and we're going to lead the nation to green jobs, yet we're going to shut down the annual exhibit, basically the auto show of agriculture. And I believe the State Fairgrounds here at 8 Mile and Woodward is a key venue to have for training, for exhibition, and for innovation for the future.
Kim, and I live in Ypsilanti Township, and this is Ernestine Wilson, my grandmother, and she lives in Southfield, Michigan.
Okay. Bet you have been coming to the fair for quite a long time.
Since I was a kid.
Yeah. And what do you, even in view of the fact that we have a very large deficit problem with the state of Michigan, what do you think about the idea of abandoning something that has been around for so long and entertained so many people and educated so many people?
I think it'd be a shame to lose the state fair. There are very few treasures that Michigan as a state still has left, and this is one of the gems that are still around, and to take this away from the kids, especially the inner city kids, I think it'd be a horrible shame. There are no amusement parks, and I think this is one of the things a lot of the kids look forward to every year. I think they should find some things to do to alleviate the budget gap so that
I've been here since I was little, since I even had my grandkids when I was little. My father, he used to bring me here all the time. I'm 45 years old, or 45 years old as of right now. I got hurt when I was 24, and I still come here. And I bring my grandkids.
I live right here in Detroit, Michigan.
Okay. And what do you think about the prospect of the fairgrounds shutting down and being sold off?
I think it's probably one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard of. The state can find money to do other things. Why not keep this open? It's a family structured event. I think it's well worthwhile. I think the state should come up with the money to continue this.
Yeah, and you brought your kids here, didn't you?
I brought my grandkids, two grandkids, right.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing this every year.
Would those kids get much of a chance to see the animals and the agricultural stuff and, you know, all the things that the fair has to offer if there wasn't any state fair?
Absolutely not.